Khaled Hosseini, one of the conditions that the Americans have put for talks with the Taliban is that they respect the rights of women in Afghanistan. Do you think that's something the Taliban is prepared to do?
Well, I think they have to be, depending on how it's argued. I think if I were sitting at the table with the Taliban, I would make sure to explain that the rights of women, the autonomy of women, is no longer negotiable, that this cannot be used as a bargaining chip toward anything. Not just for moral reasons, but because Afghanistan is doomed if women are once again barred from public life.
Do they understand that, though?
Well, I think they have to. I think they have to understand that in the last 12 years, since they've been away, the country has moved, and certain new lines have been established, and that there is a sort of a critical mass of young people in Afghanistan who care about these things, and this is the future of their country. So I truly hope that the people negotiating with the insurgents make that clear.
You've written a lot about the problems in your country, but you've also written about the progress that you've seen while you've been traveling there. What strikes you most about that?
Well, I think there's been tremendous improvements in Afghanistan in some sense, in the sector of education. Illiteracy in Afghanistan was a massive problem. It's going to be, literacy rates are going to reach 60% by 2025, close to 90% by 2040. You have millions of children who are in school now who are getting educated. That bodes very well for the future of Afghanistan. Tremendous progress in the field of healthcare, maternal mortality, which has been dramatically dropped, under the age of 5 mortality, infant mortality. Those things have improved. So there's some foundation upon which to build. But again, we're going to enter at some point into some form of negotiation with the insurgents. And again, these things have to be built upon. They could be easily lost.
Okay, it is World Refugee Day,
yes.
And you are here as a UN envoy. You write about it. It's very personal to you. It's there in your new book, And the Mountains Echoed. What was it like for your family moving from Afghanistan to America as refugees?
I consider my family one of the luckiest among refugee population. I wish all refugee families had the luck that we did. World Refugee Day for me is a very personal matter, because I do give thanks for the chance that I was given asylum to come to the United States and build a life for myself. But millions of refugees around the world don't have the same blessing as I did. Over 45 million people now are displaced. That's 3 million people more than the year before. Every 4 seconds in 2012, somebody became newly displaced. It's a massive crisis, especially now with the Syrian crisis that is showing no sign of slowing down.
And we see refugees moving back to Afghanistan. 6 million have moved back over the last decade. But you talk about the rate there. Why is the rate rising so fast of people being displaced?
Well, it's violence. It's in Afghanistan, people are displaced internally because of threat of violence, because of the insurgency. Also, there's a lot of economic migrants in Afghanistan, lack of resources. People are flocking to urban centers like Kabul, and internal displacement.
And it's the same pattern around the world.
The same pattern around the world. You have rising food prices. You have, a lot of things play into it. Climate change. All these things are contributing to sort of this kind of unprecedented displacement crisis that we're witnessing. So for me, World Refugee Day is a chance to just acknowledge and to pay tribute to millions of people who have been uprooted through no fault of their own. Nobody chose to be in this position. Nobody chooses to be a refugee. And I hope that we can all stand in solidarity around the world and operate from a place that even one family that's torn apart by war is too many, and that we should all share the responsibility of protecting the rights of refugees and assisting those nations, those host nations that have huge problems of their own, who are at the front line of the crisis.
Khaled Hosseini, UN envoy and author of the new book And the Mountains Echoed, thanks very much for coming in.
It's a pleasure.